compassion is a word that is so often associated with Buddhism, and particularly Tibetan Buddhism.
Yes, and if I were to talk in connection with the nature of mind, I think it's important to know that, you see, the deepest compassions are really inspired from the deepest state of wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
It is that when we really come to understand the nature of our mind, do we become free of ourselves? The limitation of our ego dissolves, in a sense. As such, we see in the world in a totally different light. We see beings in a much purer or much in a truer way, and so from that comes a kind of limitless compassion. Just as if you use an example, like the clouds are like the ordinary mind. When through the inspiration, maybe say that there's a wind of the inspiration, when the clouds are dispersed away and revealing the sky-like nature of a mind, and from out of the sky-like nature of mind comes the compassion of the sun that shines forth, and you see radiates kind of unbiasedly, without any bias tool. So in many ways it is said in the highest teachings that the meditation is the union of wisdom and compassion. That out of the state of wisdom comes the real compassion. But also at the same time, we have also practice of, developing compassion on the relative level. I think it's a very important to know in Buddhism is there are always, we speak of the two truths, the relative truth, which is the conventional truth, and the absolute truth, and the ultimate truth. I think it's very important to understand both. Like the view is the absolute. Once you have the understanding of the absolute, then if you really understand the deep way, because sometimes there's a danger if you understand the absolute, and if you do not really have the training or the proper training and teaching, that you can become kind of arrogant. You think you've realized something, some extraordinary state of perhaps like enlightenment or something, but then you have no compassion, or there is really no integration. I think it's important really, once we've really realized the wisdom of our nature of mind, if you really truly realize that from that comes compassion, which is the way of relating, because once you have that understanding, the way you see is very different. I'm just as ordinarily, when we have a greater understanding, then we are much more compassionate. I think in the world too, as you know, the most important thing we need is understanding. And in fact, the nature of mind is really the root of understanding.